Welcome back to the Lusaka Star Radio Magazine program, a program where we discuss issues affecting our communities. And I'm your presenter, Godwin Lungu. And you, our dear listeners, are always part of the program by dialing the numbers 0211 29 34 35. That's 0211 29 34 35. Or better still, come through via our UNZA Radio Facebook page. Like the page, you'll find that update status, comment on it, and you'll be able to read your comments just like that. And you can as well text us on 0965 830293. Our topic is COVID-19 and PL for development programs. And my guest is PL for information and the publicity desk chief administrator of PL for social media, Mr. Chendera Erasmus Mukondo. Good morning and welcome to the program, sir.
Good morning, Honorable Lungu. I'm humbled to be here once again to be as a guest. I always call you Honorable.
We thank God.
Because our president is His Excellency. But for you, I'll reduce you to Honorable.
No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Speaker of the National Assembly is Minister, Honorable Patrick Matibini. Last time, when the Minister of Justice, Given Lubinda, sought for permission to defer the debate on Bill 10, to defer Bill 10, the Speaker did guide that the bill has overstayed and it can only be brought back during this session. Unfortunately, the session was closed yesterday. What does it mean for the bill?
Well, it has, I think as the situation pertains, there is still some provision which they can try to use to extend it, because what has happened, it's a calamity, because it is being affected by COVID environment in which we are in, which everybody understands. And I think it can still be given some breather to be extended to the other session, because this one has been cancelled prematurely because of what is pertaining. So basically, the nature in which we are, it's that one of core of nature. So basically, we can see to it that maybe in the same provisions, they can still get the document back, so that the very important piece of legislature, which is Bill 10, can be made into law. But otherwise, as we stand as the Patriotic Front, ourselves, we are comfortable. The only thing which we have to do is that we are pledged in 2011 that we are going to deliver a constitution without lacunas. We promised the people of Zambia that we are going to give them a constitution that will test the test of time. So basically, with us, we are not worried, especially that we are a ruling party. The only third part is that Bill 10 is a very progressive piece of legislature that you wanted to come into law, so that it would help the youth, our women, and also the disabled people with disabilities. And not only that, we wanted also to improve on accountability, especially when there is a change of government. People, they don't have to go with the wind, but there must be proper accountability before any new government is ushered in. So basically, that piece of legislature has a lot of progressive clauses. So for us as the Patriotic Front, it's not here or there that we are going to lose anything. We are not going to lose anything, because it does not have anything to do with the pending election of 2021. So
now, earlier in your explanation, you have explained that when you were campaigning in 2011, 2010 to 2011, yes, you did promise the people that you are going to give them a new constitution, yes, which would stand the test of time.
Yes.
Unfortunately, instead of giving us a new constitution, in 2016, you gave us an amendment constitution. And this Bill 10 was also seeking to amend some clauses in the constitution, meaning you were also going to give us another amended constitution. in the space of 10 years, you wanted us to give us two amendments, two constitutional amendments.
Yes, yes, sir. You know, the history of this nation, we have always survived through the amendment of our constitution since 1964. When Kaunda was ushered in as the prime minister. So we had to change the constitution to make it that we had the president. And then in 1972, we had to amend the constitution to look at what was prevailing. And from that history, we came to one-party state. We moved back from the multi-party participation back to one-party state. And then in 1991, we had to, is it 1990 somewhere, that we had to amend the constitution so that we would accommodate multi-partyism. 1996, unfortunately, that one was driven by the MMD. They needed, maybe they had targeted an individual who was at that time KK to come up with the presidential clause. So it was amended. But from that time to where we stand today, which is almost close to 25 years or so, we have never, I can be pressed 24 years, we have never seen the change until the 20 years. That was in 2016. And we had to amend the constitution. And you have seen a lot of progressive clauses were included, starting from the running mate to where we are talking about now. So basically, if you look at Bill 10, those are the lacunas, the smaller things which affect us, but which can be acrimonious if not really addressed. In particular, if you look at the duration, if you talk about change of duration for a petition from 14 to 30, the most important thing is that the baseline there, we still have a petition period. Previously, it used to be an open-ended statement from 1996. So when we looked at what was prevailing on the ground, especially when you refer to Mazoka's case, he died with a petition in his hand. That was very unfortunate. So we had all these predicaments that the Constitution needed to address, and that's where we are as a nation today. Some of it, progressive clauses are like grade 12 provision, where people, they say, moving in tandem with the Christianity clause, where you say education is very important, and a nation which has no knowledge cannot be progressive. So we included the grade 12 provision. So we are moving in tandem with what is happening global-wise. And you find that even the climate change itself, in some of it is now part of the supreme law of this land. It recognizes climate change. So there are a lot of things, progressive clauses that we can talk about, a lot. But we are saying there are these 10 clauses which we need to look at as at today. Because, you know, these legislatures, the MPs, they are put into those offices in the legislature to work, to pass laws, to make sure that whatever we have on the ground, it's reflecting what the people, the inspirations of the people, and what people want. And that's what democracy entails.
What happened to the drive to give the Zambian people a new constitution? Because that's what you promised during your campaigns prior to 2011 elections. You are giving us amendments instead of a new constitution, as promised.
That's the new constitution. According to the Zambian laws, I think you cannot get rid of, shred the constitution in pieces. And then
amendment and the new constitution, these are two different.
Well, yes. Let me tell you. Look, even if we compare the American system, they will be talking about amendments to their constitution. To this very day, they will be talking about.
So you are saying you are lying to the people that you are giving them a new constitution.
We never lied. We never lied in the sense that the one gallant leader, Michael Sata, promised the people that we are going to give Zambians a new constitution,
which has not come.
It came in 2016.
That was an amended constitution.
You know, I think whether you call it an amended constitution or we shred the other constitution, Zambians, they have always had a constitution. So you can never call for a new constitution because what technically
So
you were,
giving a new constitution to the Zambian people was a lie.
no, it's not a lie. It was.
When are you going to give us a new constitution?
We have given you a new constitution, which you call an amended constitution in 2016. So you know, listen,
let's move on, because
no,
an amended constitution is not a new constitution.
It's a new.
You just amend certain clauses, but
Look,
maintain the rest.
By law, whenever anything will be cited in Zambia, they will always be say according to the constitution of 2016.
According to the amended constitution of 2016, just as we refer
so
to amended constitution of 20...
amendment in Kawe they had changed according to the changed constitution. So we changed. What is important is
we amended.
We changed it from the old version, which had a lot of discrepancies, to the new one now, because there is that word change. That's why born again. That you will be a born again person, you will be a changed person, or you'll be an amended new person. That's what we mean. So when you go in a church, they will tell you are born again, you are a changed person now. The old wrong has gone, they have now a new wrong. That's what we mean. So basically, politically, spiritually, socially, we have a changed constitution. And
amended constitution.
Yes, which is an amended constitution.
Okay, let's move on. And before we leave this issue of Bill 10,
yes,
can we conclude at this stage that Bill 10 is dead?
Basically, what I can say, it's dead unless otherwise they find the best way to defend it. But it's very unfortunate that such a piece of law, we have missed an opportunity to cure the lacunas. But there's still some breather that they can squeeze it in. Because as I said, what has happened, what is at hand, it's a natural occurrence, a natural calamity, which is beyond the decision management of the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. So it is still alive, I may say so, unless the authority relevant.
How many times are you?
Okay, no, I'm just as an individual, but the relevant authorities who announce whether it still has life or not. But for me, as a political cadre, I can only say still remain with that hope.
I like the word political card, the definition you have given yourself.
Yes.
So, Justice Minister Given Lubinda sought permission of the House with a heavy heart to put off debates on the bill for undisclosed reasons on Wednesday afternoon. On that was on 24th. Unfortunately, Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Patrick Matibini, cautioned Honorable Lubinda to ensure that a date is found within Parliament's current sitting, emphasizing that Bill 10 cannot be tabled at a later date than the last day of the current sitting, which was yesterday. And that was a forced adjournment of Senate Day. So obviously what will come up now is the next session of Parliament. So we do not expect Bill 10 to be tabled.
It can't be tabled because at every sitting I think it progresses. Is it stage 2 up to stage 3? So basically that in itself, according to me as a political, I still have some hope, but legislative wise, it's dead.
Legislative wise, Bill 10 is dead. The voice of Mr. Chendera there. Let's talk about what forced Parliament to adjourn Senate Day.
Well,
COVID-19.
COVID-19.
Unfortunately, just yesterday, the Minister of Health, Dr. Shitaro Chirufya, told the nation that only 6 out of 165 members of Parliament, minus 2, so we can say 6 out of 164,
yes,
have tested.
You know, the statistics, they are showing that it's not a good picture that is emerging from our leaders, the legislature, who are the think tank of this nation. And these are the people who are supposed to provide the leadership. And whether they like it or not, I think the latest, the speaker himself, as I was coming ahead, that is going to lead today. so that everybody is tested. And I think that's a very positive step that the Speaker of National Assembly has taken. Otherwise, if we left it as at yesterday's position, would have lamentably failed as leaders to our people across the nation, because we need to be brave. We need to show that we are bold in this fight against COVID. And if members of parliament who are 158, they cannot demonstrate to the 158 constituencies as leaders, where are we as individuals? It will make us now to see that this issue that we have been talking about, we do not understand it. But basically, I'm very happy that the Speaker of National Assembly, Matibini, said today, this very day, I think he is going to lead all the members of the National Assembly to be tested. And I think that is a commendable step, a bold step that he has taken.
Now, there are a number of COVID-19 cases which have been recorded. Of course, at first there was a rumor that Mr. Mkonke died of COVID-19, a rumor which was dispelled later. And according to the information that we have, Honorable Mwewa also died of COVID-19.
Yes.
And other staffs, other national parliaments, is it parliaments or national assembly staffs, have also tested positive. And I don't know how true it is, but we are told that the others also that have died. Looking at the members of parliament, especially those from the Patriotic Front, they have been going around the country mobilizing. Don't you think that was a risk they were putting the Zambian people on, campaigning whilst knowing that there is this new wave of COVID-19 in the country?
Honorable comrade, allow me first to say that COVID, it has no color. It doesn't know status. It doesn't know religion. It kills, it is taking almost everyone. It doesn't know whether you are Patriotic Front, you are a leader, or you are not. What we are seeing at the moment, it's a warning, it's a wake-up call. We can go the Italian way, where you play what they are calling downplaying politics, COVID politics. You downplay the seriousness of this disease. It means you are now almost now helping the virus to create cracks further into our society. I'll give you an example. Suppose our two honorables, they died from COVID, and then people, they went there to attend the funeral, and they were not wearing masks. And then not only that, they are not going to take further steps to make sure that they are quarantined. It will mean all those people will get back from that funeral, those two funerals, they will pose as a risk to the rest of their family members. The first people they are going to pose the risk, it's their family members. So basically, if we downplay this disease as Patriotic Front, it is unfortunate. This is what Dr. Tedros is talking about from the international level. And I think for us, we have a huge responsibility that we should take this disease scientifically, medically, and at the same time, historically. Because these three pillars, they will tell us that you play around with a pandemic, it will wipe you off. It happened in the 1490s, somewhere there, in the Inca. I can say South America there. The Indians, they never knew what was happening. The predicament, there was a plague there. It wiped them off from the planet. Today, what has happened to America? America has new people, the Spaniards, the Portuguese, these Americans who are coming from Ireland and UK. They have dominated the whole continent there, because there was a pandemic that happened somewhere there which wiped the Indians, the Red Indians. So this is just one of the examples of a pandemic. So if we are talking about this COVID virus, it is in our midst, it is in our homes already, and it is already wreaking havoc. Let's look at what went wrong with Italy. It's taking this disease casually. By the time Italy realized that this disease was very serious, the people are dying like insects, dropping like insects. They were dying per day. 800. Where do you find the people dying 800? At one time in New York, they posted 3,000 dead bodies. Today, that can happen here in Zambia. Already it's happening. You go to Kitwe on Sunday, they said they had deposited, is it 24, 25 dead bodies, 28, somewhere there, brought in dead. So this disease does not know that you are PF. This disease does not know that you are honorable. Ikurula. Itenga.
So why have you continued to have massive rallies, as they are called? Because you are gathering people, and you are the same people that are in power who are supposed to lead by example.
Basically, we have what we are calling this new normal. And the new normal has not settled well with the people. They didn't know that the new normal, it's going out to practice social distancing. So basically, the president has come out, and the health minister now, they have readjusted the keys, and they are saying, we are most likely going to go for a second wave. And this second wave, it will mean again closing down the economy. Because we are not listening. And it will mean calling in the soldiers so that they start patrolling our streets. We will no longer supervise ourselves. The casual mentality that is in our people, it's unfortunate. We are not seeing what is happening in Brazil. We think it's a very far
Before you go any further, we are giving an example of the people from your party.
Yes.
Honorable Bowman Lusambo is busy gathering people in the Copper Belt, and we've seen many gatherings for the Patriotic Front. Honorable Mumbipiri was in Kabompo receiving defectors, and they are all over. The good part is that they're being posted on PF social media pages,
yes, exactly.
And we are able to see that people are not social distancing, people are not masking up. The question is, are you not the ones to lead by example? Why are you not guiding the people?
Look, as the examples you have given today, it is calling for everyone now to readjust. This disease,
including your party,
starting with Mumbipiri, my deputy secretary general. He's the one who is supposed now to demonstrate and to show that the new normal now, it's no longer an issue that we are thinking that we can gather ourselves like this. But we need to get back to where we were. We need to have our own perpetual partial lockdown, maybe until October. That's when, after this season goes, we can try to see we get to the new norm. Because this is happening for the first time. Mumbipiri, my mother Mumbipiri, has she ever faced such a challenge in her lifetime? This is the first time that she's also encountering. Bowman Lusambo, this is the first time he's also going through. Bowman Lusambo and Mumbipiri, they have demonstrated they are the people, in fact, who are busy chasing people out of the streets, chasing everybody, is it in these buses, to make sure that there is that adherence to this COVID. And at that time, we saw that everything was had normalized, and the people had requested the president to start opening up the economy. And then also the president announced that we can continue mobilizing our parties in a new normal, but we cannot have inter-party elections. On that one, we can give him a plus, because there is no mobilization. And I know, as we stand today, our General Secretary, Juan Davis Muira, has voted the inter-party elections. There are no inter-party elections which are happening in PF, and that's how serious it is.
The only party mobilization.
The only party mobilization, I think that's where you saw maybe Honorable Mumbipiri and Bowman Lusam. It's one of on the Copper Belt. And I think these are some of the challenges as leaders which we are seeing now through these videos and pictures. It's a big challenge to practice open campaigns now or mobilization. It's a little difficult. And for us, we are a good example even to the churches. We talked about the churches and how intricate it was going to be to implement the social gathering with the churches. So it is even with the political gathering. But what I know, as we stand today, political gatherings are illegal.
Political gatherings are illegal. The voice of Mr. Chendera,
and that's how serious.
Mukondo.
Yes.
Let's get to the other issue. In some countries, they have suspended all exams at all levels. They are saying they'll start afresh in January 2021. And just yesterday, Honorable Mabumba, the General Education Minister, I did mention that there are suspected cases of COVID-19 in some schools.
Yes, yes.
Parliament has closed. Why can't the schools be closed as well?
Well, we are talking about something new. Just like as we have seen, you are talking about our member of parliament, our deputy secretary general is seen, is it in northwestern, western there, trying to get to the people because we need to continue operating as normal. But the matter, the COVID, the gravity of the matter, the COVID is getting bad. So we need to readjust, even education-wise. We need to readjust. So, Honorable Mabumba, I think he's looking at the scenarios. I think some of the good classic examples is Rufunza district there, where one of the boarding schools has posted a lot of positives among the staff members and then also the children. And I think they have already closed, they have moved in. So, it could be out of these 1,000 schools, it could be one. So they need to look at the issue at play, because on examination classes have been allowed, grade 7s, and I think, is it grade 12s or grade 9?
Grade 9 and 12.
Yes, they have been allowed.
Also the final year students at the University of Zambia and colleges.
So you will see how committed we are as a government. If we are not committed, we are just said to everybody it was going to be open, it was going to be waste. But still, our children, they still risk. They are still risking contracting the same COVID-19. So basically, I think in a week's time or even in 24 hours from now, there will be a new statement which the General Secretary, the Honorable Minister Mabumba will be making to the country. It will be either they have, through the office of the Vice President, they have injected further more funds or more preventive measures, or they have to look at the social distancing further.
Are you for the idea that possibly schools should close and open possibly next year?
My friend, me, as I came, before coming here, I was dropping my child. So for me, it is affecting me very bad, because I have to risk myself to pass through this environment, which is extremely cold. So for me, personally, I would want what I'm going through as a parent. We can even extend these exams. We can never lose an exam. We can still gain education. You know, some of us, we at one time we repeated in grade 3, but we have still catch up with time. So there is nothing. This is a natural calamity. We cannot control it. So we can even do what is happening in South Africa and elsewhere, where they have said they have closed permanent until we see January, because we don't know how this virus is progressing with the coming in of seasons. Especially as it happened in the first quarter, in the rain season. That was March when we closed. We had that partial close down. So we have been progressing. In the winter, January, June, it was okay, it was progressing, but July has come with a disaster now. What we have at the moment, it's a gloomy picture. It's extremely a gross picture. It is something which we cannot even try to debate about it.
Did we rush to open schools?
Worldwide, if you look, we can say that the whole world rushed. Because even in America, in the UK, in what they have been, we have been doing this on an international level, using the guidance.
Climatically, we all know that July is always a difficult month for Zambia, because this is the period where it is very cold, especially the last 2 weeks of July.
Yes.
Obviously, by 1st, 2nd, or 3rd August, we should be seeing some change.
Yes.
We could be seeing some warmth coming back. But the last 2 weeks every year, in the month of July, is always difficult.
Yes.
Possibly, we could have made our own analysis before opening up.
We made, and there is the chief executive officer for this country, one Edgar Chagalungu, and he has been making those on behalf of Zambian people. But if you look at this predicament, when you're talking about weather pattern, if you look at Australia, it's a desert. But if you look at the first phase of the COVID, it was bad, extremely bad. There are places like the northern region of Africa, Morocco, Egypt, somewhere there. Then their numbers, they are worse than even here in Lusaka, or is it southern region of Africa. So basically, you go to South Africa there, it's something. You know, the virus, the problem with the virus, it moves with information, it replicates itself, it changes. It changes with the environment. It's like the HIV virus. The HIV virus that you find that it's prevalent here in Africa, it's difficult. It's different from the one which is in India. It's different from the one which is maybe in UK. So basically, when you look at the virus, it's a very difficult animal to tame. It's a very difficult animal to deal with. And I am happy you talked about these same flus. We have had the waves of flus. There was the SARS in 2003. Maybe it even reached here. But to you, it was, as the Brazilian president said, it was a small flu. It was a small flu. Who knows? We had SARS here. It had reached. But the thing is, we have seen that at the extent these viruses, the flus, they have been affecting our communities. They have been advancing. Why? Because of something which has been happening across us. Climatic changes. Climate change has always been with mankind from inception. And I think this is the reason why our Lord Jesus Christ talked about the same. There will be plagues, there will be diseases everywhere. But this one, it's our challenge. With all this technology that we have, with all these information gadgets that we have, it is killing us. And the unfortunate part is a superpower by the name of the United States. It has made Donald Trump to look like he's a boy in a political arena. Today he issues this statement, we are okay, but if you look at the numbers, 141,000 people have died. If you look, but the thing is, let us not downplay this COVID-19. Let us not play politics of arguing, but at the same time, let's look at what is pertaining on the ground so that we make the information. We look at the way the virus is behaving. At the moment, it's as we predicted. As it is advancing in July, it is also getting bad with everything. Because, you know, our economy, it's very sad, unfortunately, across the world. It's home taking. Today, if you don't work today, it means tomorrow your children won't eat. So we have also this gravity of the economy.